Party people, what's going on? This is Samaj Marsh. I'm the founder of BlueDeathValley.com. I want to welcome you back to another special episode of Inside the Valley, the podcast that's devoted to relentless coverage of A&T football. Of course, I got my two co-hosts with me to help me out. First up, former A&T wide receiver and a Greensboro native, my man, Dougie Fresh Brown. What's going on, Doug?
Hey, what's up, guys? Aggie Pride. Game week, baby. Game
week, Dougie. And of course, last but not least, brains of the operation, beat writer on BlueDeathValley.com for over 2 decades, longtime insider, and the current president of the Greensboro chapter of the AAF, my right-hand man, Craig Turner. What's going on, Craig?
Hey, what's Aggie Pride? What's up, guys?
And
we're there. Yeah. We're there. We 24 hours away. Exactly 24 hours away.
It was the night before Christmas. All through the house. Okay, Lord. This is game week, fellas.
Yeah, I ain't lying.
It kind of feels surreal. Like Doug, what you were saying before, it kind of feels surreal. But I got a little bit jealous because Saturday, we saw an HBCU football game on ABC, Jackson State and South Carolina State. They kicked it off. They got the early bird treatment. And I was a little jealous, man. I always want to be the marquee game when it comes to HBCU football. But it was an interesting little matchup. But the real deal starts tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Our Aggies go up against UAB, and it's going to be the culmination of so many storylines. This whole Vincent Brown, who's going to be winning these position battles. What's that 2023 version of Blue Death going to look like? These new defensive guys all over the place. But it's going to be something, man. First up is the housekeeping stuff. So I want to congratulate you, Craig Turner, for organizing and pulling off another successful AAF cookout this past Sunday at the farm. If you haven't seen it, we got the pictures on BlueDeathValley.com. Dr. Michael Simmons was on hand. He took all the shots. Craig, just take a bow. That was awesome. You fed a small army of people. What was that experience like for you on Sunday, man?
Well, for me, it was hectic, but it was great to have all 350 student athletes out there. Most of the coaches out there, obviously, football coaches were a little preoccupied this past weekend. So, but Coach Lane did make it out, and I think Coach Poole was there too for a little while. So. But we enjoyed it. Kids had a great time. We fed them really well, and they got to take a lot of it home with them. And we'll sit back and do all the debriefing a little bit later on. But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it, and a big shout out to all of my AAF. Comrades who were out. We had a really good turnout of our chapter, and they did a fantastic job of pulling this thing together. So we'll do it again. We'll do it again next August.
Yeah. For these student athletes, that's probably the best food they're gonna have all semester. Because you fed them.
It was very quiet. I heard a lot of clanking and chewing and no talking. So it was When it's quiet around the dinner table, that food is kicking there.
And Dougie, you and me, we had a chance to stop by the campus on Saturday, and we took part in that annual A&T Fun Fest event, which was really well done this year. They had the sound stage up, and they had a whole bunch of tents, and even they had the inflatables out. I ain't seen the inflatables in a while. I had the inflatables out for the young kids. The marching machine performed a couple of numbers, and all the guys, all the athletes were mingling around, signing autographs, kissing babies, shaking hands. I got a chance to talk to my man Big Country and his family. Then I saw the People's Champ real quick. I shot him a few words and gave him some advice from from a one QB guru to the next. I had talk a little QB information to him. But Doug, what was your take on that Fun Fest on Saturday?
Oh man, definitely what you said it was fun fest for the fans, man. Anytime I get a chance to go out and just be a fan of the players of all the sports teams that were out there and that were represented, um, definitely enjoy having a chance to see the blue and gold marching machine. But I thought it was one of the most well-ran fan fests we've had. All the vendors, all the different organizations that came out, Gifford County Schools. I think Alan Hook was pulling double duty when I looked up and saw him out there. So it was definitely a community event, and so even when I was leaving, I saw families still rolling up, families still pushing strollers and bringing kids up. So I think everybody had a chance to get some school supplies. I know the Omegas were out there collecting school supplies, so it was a good deal, man. It was great weather. It was hot.
No.
Come on, hey,
let's not oversell it. It was about 120 degrees out there. It was hot.
hey.
So
great weather. I'll take that over a rainy day, right? You don't get that turnout without
so
no
we had
bright
clear
sunny
skies.
days.
I say clear skies. We had clear skies.
Aggie blue skies. So just prepping for the rest of the season. Those are the same type of nice Saturdays we're gonna have in Aggie Stadium. So excuse me, Truist Stadium. But yeah, man, it was a great time, man, and it just kicked us off, got us ready.
But once again, hats off, kudos to all the event staff, everybody in the operation who put that together, because I know that's a logistical nightmare having all those people coming in. Now, still got to be safe because this is saw what happened, all Chopper Hill, all these crazy folks out here. So got to stay diligent. And when you have a mass grouping of people, it's always some tricky stuff to pull off. So hats off to everybody who did that on Saturday. But the big news, of course, was we got game week, so we had a big press conference on Monday, the first press conference of the season, and Coach Vincent Brown was there holding court. He's worked on his stump speech a little bit. He's a little more polished, I think. He knows how to deliver that information. He took questions and talked about the game against UAB and some of the news coming out of fall camp. And yours truly, I was able to ask him early on about that quarterback battle. And he delivered a shocker, man. He said that for the initial depth chart, that redshirt sophomore Eli Brickhandler, the People's Champ, and true freshman Kevin White, KJ White, the human huddle highlight film, Triple H, what I start calling him. Those two are battling out to be the starter tomorrow night. He was kind of playing coy. He didn't want to reveal his hand on who was going to. He said it was still actually at the time of at the press conference, they were still evaluating. Had a couple more practices to judge both guys, but more than likely one of those two individuals will be starting at quarterback tomorrow night. Eli Brickhandler or KJ White, and I thought that was incredible. That a true freshman was able to leapfrog some of those other guys. But we're going to talk about that, and we got a special guest to start off the show. He's one of my favorites. I'm not afraid to say he's also been on the show a couple of times, and he's transitioned from being the starting quarterback. Now he's the QB emeritus, right? He's like a elderly statesman now who can give his sage wisdom on A&T football from a unique perspective. So let's bring back to the show our guy, Mr. Jaylen Fowler. Going on?
Hey, Fowler.
What's happening, y'all?
What's up, man?
All right.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Good to see all you guys again.
Hey, man, so good to see you. We had that breaking news coming out of Greensboro about the QB situation. So I said there's only one guy who has unique knowledge of pretty much all the players involved, and I wanted just to pick your brain on some things. First up, how surprised were you to see a true freshman actually in the mix to be starting in his first college game? That's unprecedented, right?
Yeah, I definitely say that's unprecedented, especially at A&T and with those other guys in the room and those some talented guys in the room. So that just lets me know what KJ is bringing to the table, and I got to check out I've never met him before, but I got to check out his huddle, and hey, the dude's impressive, man. He has that top of the line athletic ability, and the arm talent's there too. So hey, I think he could be special.
And that's one of the big misnomers, man. Everyone knew he was, one of the fastest kids in the state of Virginia, all state track star champion. but his arm is elite. Like he has elite arm talent.
Yes.
And actually, let me see if I can roll some film here for you guys. This was his huddle film that everybody's talking about. Hope it's not too blurry, but this is him just catching a lane, and it's chunk up the deuce. Like once he gets a step on somebody, that's world class speed, and that will happen if he gets a step on UAB secondary. They're not catching him. This is not just some high school children of the poor high school. This is anybody who comes across him. He has that type of speed. And here's a nice little throw, about 50 yards on the rope. Just from watching his film, what were some of the takeaways, Jaylen, that you saw just from like a mechanic standpoint?
When I first got to check out his HUD, I mean, the first thing I like, very calm, and like
Yeah,
when he's in the pocket, very calm. He's not moving too much. Like I think I saw this clip right here recently. He just looks kind of smooth, man, and like he's putting the ball out there. Like that's not a little boy throw. I'll let you know that right now. So I mean, the dude's arm talent is there. I don't know about his size, but hey, I mean, he just has that. You can just tell like dude's a playmaker. It's not no regular play.
He got one block, hit that sideline, and then like you could just chalk it up, man.
Yeah, but the dude his talent level is as a dual threat quarterback. I mean, he could do it all.
And this is him like in between the tackles, bouncing off a linebacker right there, hitting that safety right there, and then like I say, cancel Christmas. Once he gets out there, you ain't catching him. And I think there's one more throw in here I want to show because he has a strong arm, but he also has a pretty good touch on his ball. His arc is really good. It gives receivers a chance to make a play on the ball.
Exactly.
Look at that. And the guy can adjust a little bit and come back to it. And that's beyond his years. That's what Coach Brown said at the press conference. The dude's beyond his years in the way he's been playing. So when you first got to A&T, tell me what was the quarterback room when you first got here?
It was me, Lamar, Khalil, and Isaiah Hickman. Yeah, Hick moved the receiver for his last year.
Okay, so give me when you first got on campus as a true freshman from South Carolina. Just give me your mindset. Were you nervous? Were you like, I'm about to show everybody? I'm about, how did you mentally go into that whole competition?
Well, I guess I was kind of nervous, especially like my first couple practices at fall camp, and I kind of already knew I was going to redshirt. So for me, it wasn't necessarily a competition like that, but it was a culture shock for me, honestly. So that was like the biggest change for me, I'll say.
Oh, really? So what? Just like what? The size of the campus?
Not even football related. For me, it was just like A&T was just completely different from like basically where I'm from.
Okay.
I'll say it like that. So that was the biggest change for me. But football wise, yeah. I can't really speak to the competition as an 18-year-old because for me, the competition wasn't even. I knew I wasn't going to be in the mix that year. Basically.
Right. Mm-hmm. So as somebody who's not the starter, what type of like reps do you get at practice? Like, how do you stay engaged and how do you keep developing if you're not necessarily going to be the guy right then and there?
I mean, that's where those mental reps come in the most. Like, you shouldn't just be like, for me, I wouldn't be on the sideline, like just talking to the guys while the ones are up. You need to be behind the quarterback and pre-snap. What am I gonna do if I'm actually in there? Like just seeing the defense. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the most important part. Those mental reps will help you so much. So whenever it's your turn to go in there and perform, you'll be ready. I think mental reps and film, of course.
Right. And like we say, Dougie, you know this. That anytime there's a position battle, there's winners, and then unfortunately somebody is got to lose. And not to say that that's a wrap. It's just at that point you got to have some type of depth chart. You got to peg guys in. So Doug, you tell me, what is the mindset if you don't see your name number one? How do you handle that as a player?
Well, it's a lot different for receivers because there's so many of us that get an opportunity to play.
Right.
Of course, injuries come into play, and the ebb and flows of a season. At some point, you feel like you're gonna get your opportunity, and it's about making the best of it. Now, last year we kind of had that same thing going on with the quarterbacks when everybody got a chance to play. We listed 4 guys, so it was a situation where everybody had to be ready, and luckily all those guys were ready when their time came around. But you'd like to have one guy, or they say if you don't have 4, you ain't got none. I hear some coaches say that and that whole deal, but I just need somebody that can get it done, right? Somebody can get it done, and you want your next guy, whoever that is up next, just to be ready. But as from a receiver standpoint, it didn't matter to me. I just wanted the guy that was next man up, ready to go, and the guy that was going to get in there and compete. And all the guys I played with was able to do that. So, it is what it is. The quarterback's a tricky position, man. Hats off to guys like Jalen who walk that walk, right?
So Jalen, truth serum time. So this time last year, you had just overcome a bout of COVID, right? And that caused you to miss a couple of weeks of that fall camp. You were in an intense battle with Austin Hooker and Zach Yeager, right? And Eli Brickhandler for that spot. And much to your chagrin, the coaching staff, for whatever reason, they felt more comfortable with Yeager in that Central game start season off. Okay, how do you handle that information, right? How do you handle that? And then what's the role as I got to be still, ready and willing? How you manage those emotions?
Well, we didn't find out who was starting until the Friday of the game. I think they told us like maybe that Friday night, it was something crazy. It was pretty late, and for me, we had a plan, and we just didn't. Well, they didn't follow the plan, so it was supposed to be Zach gets the first 3, and then I get the next 3, and then go with the hot hand. One of those situations.
Okay.
But when Zach threw that touchdown to Jamison Warren,
all bets off.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm a veteran. I know the game, so it's like I understood that you don't want he just threw a touchdown. Don't just all right, Jalen, your turn. Like okay, I was like I'll wait, but I some people think I wasn't like able to play. No, I was able to play. It just the timeline got kind of messed up, and they went with Zach to finish the game, and that's just how it went.
Okay, but that's cool though. So you mentally were preparing, like you was going to the game knowing I got like in after the third series, I'm gonna be on the field definitely. So I got to be locked in. Okay.
Yeah, and we were in like, I mean, I guess it was after I got off of COVID, I had like maybe a week of practices, maybe. And I had a couple practices before the game with Central, and I mean, I feel like I was ready. I got my conditioning back right after I got over COVID, and I went into the game with a starter's mentality. Of course, I was just trying to make things right from the season before. So man, I've been putting in a lot of work. So I mean, I was ready for the moment or the challenge, I'll say. And it just played out how it played out.
All right. So first off, give me a scouting report. Austin Hooker and Zach Yeager. Tell me your scouting report on those 2 guys.
All right. I guess I'll start with Austin. Austin has good athletic ability, of course. When the ball's in his hand, he's a weapon. He's a threat. And I feel like he got to show that a little bit when he got to start against Charleston Southern last year. He had one real long run. So I think given opportunities, Austin could have that dual threat ability. And then Austin mentally, he knows the game probably very well. And I think he knows the playbook probably the best in the quarterback room right now.
Wow, really?
So I would say that. And I've heard that too. So, I mean, yeah, but Austin has that dual threat ability, and I do believe Austin could go out there and lead the team. Zach is, I wouldn't really necessarily call Zach a dual threat, but he does have the ability to make plays, escape the pocket, and he can obviously get moving when he's out the pocket too. You know what I'm saying?
And we saw that in Central, in Charlotte.
Yes, he had
right. Yeah.
Exactly. But I wouldn't necessarily label him a dual threat to where we include him into a lot of the run game, but he does have that ability. And Zach has a beautiful deep ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Zach got it all. I just feel like Zach just needs to put it all together. But I mean, the tools are there.
Right. And then finally, we're gonna talk about Eli Brickhandler. Let me show you guys a few highlights from, I guess, his most extensive action last year, which was his appearance in the Duke game.
Their hands full going against A&M.
On 3rd and 9. Plenty of time. Another nicely thrown ball and another drop. I can't believe it. Caldwell. Quality on the defensive side of the ball. Be a little bit saltier on D. Nice play that time. The last second, the toss.
One of the triple option. Zone read, keep. At the last second, you throw the bubble screen to your running back. I love the play design.
Start things up. A perfectly designed play. A little pocket pass to Kimbrough, the fullback, for the touchdown.
So that was a few snippets of action from Eli Brickham last year at Duke. Craig, you remember that game, right?
Yep.
And,
I remember very well.
So what were your when he had that performance last year? What was your initial reaction? Like, what did you think we had in Brickham?
I thought that he came in with enthusiasm, and it's hard in a game like that when things are pretty kind of gotten away from you to really put out a good performance. But I thought he played with poise. He was pretty good. He was good at making decisions. He handled the ball well, made some good throws. He had some drops that weren't his fault. He put the ball where it needed to be. But you can see the potential there. For him to when his opportunity was to come around, he would develop into a good quarterback. He was to me, he was solid.
Yeah, I thought so too. But Jaylen, so you probably know Eli Brickhammer better than anybody on this panel right now. I know you guys still keep in touch. Just tell me, what does A&T have? We call them the People's Champs, like a little nickname. But what does A&T have in Eli Brickhammer that you think that we should be excited about?
I feel like Eli's from Cali, and he got that California swag, man.
Yes.
And,
Yeah, he does.
Those quarterbacks in Cali, they're trained a little bit differently than a quarterback from the Southeast or wherever. So, I don't know. Eli just has that moxie, man. High energy guy, man. Always weight room, field, practice, don't matter. And I don't know, man. I love watching Eli play. He helped me with stuff last year. I mean, I don't know if people thought we were, beefing or whatever, or anything. It's never been like that. You know what I'm saying? I might pre-practice. He might help me keep my weight back on throwing and stuff like that. So, Eli has high knowledge for the quarterback position, and he's a playmaker type quarterback for sure. Definitely a playmaker. As you can see that they called it a triple option during the casting, but I mean, that's something you practice all the time, but not a lot of quarterbacks are getting the game and have the ability to slow it down and still make that throw.
Right.
I mean, they're a lot, but Eli, and this was against a Power 5 school. I think they won 9 games. That Duke team was good. So I mean, for Eli to come in there and do that, man, that was always impressive to me. So that speaks for itself.
And like you said, let's go back to that point. The mechanics involved with carrying out that fake and then turning your body, anchoring your feet, because you got to anchor your feet down. If your momentum gets the best of you, you're gonna miss that window, and you got to be able to step into that throw and put it right there so that running back can score. If you throw it behind him, it's going to be an incompletion, or he'll get stopped right there. That's a lot of moving parts that go into making that play a touchdown. And like you say, that to have the ability to mentally just slow everything down and to take what's right there, that shows a lot about his kind of advanced maturity. And I remember that game too. You had some, I gotta go back to you. My guy. You were throwing some dimes.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
He was putting it on them.
Yeah. I mean, we
a lot of drops.
We had
a lot of drops
from jump ball that I probably could think of in one game in like the last 10 years. Oh, by the way, Jaylen. So I got to get you. You're no longer obligated to give the company line. Hey, Hey, these guys are trying to change the name of the wide receiver core to Super Freaks or something like that.
Yeah.
They're trying to do away with jump ball you. How do you feel about that, Jalen?
I mean, hey, they say it's a new era, man. So I guess they had to bring they bringing in their own thing. They was doing it last year. That's what Coach Poole likes. Hey, as long as they making plays, man, I ain't gonna say too much.
That's it.
But jump ball you, man. I mean, they should have kept jump ball you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Cool, it's cool.
they tried to kill jump ball you. We still got some high flyers, man.
Yeah, we probably need to get back to throwing some more fades, man. We need to start getting the red zone. Let's go ahead and just throw it up. Let somebody make a play. Jump ball you will come right back.
Right.
Throw it up.
But look here, Jamie. The last time we saw you, you were making the whole Aggie Nation proud. You were in what was it, Louisiana?
New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans for that HBC Legacy Bowl. It was a national TV, and I gotta say, number one, you look great. Number two, I felt bad for you because you had like maybe the worst offensive line.
It was rough.
It was like snap the ball and then haul behind for your life because I don't know what they were doing. They must have had the plays wrong or something. But I didn't see nobody get picked up on the blitz at all.
Yeah, even when they didn't blitz, people was coming right through. It was tough.
But to your chagrin, but to your credit, you made the most of it. You rolled out the pocket. That's about the fastest I've ever seen you play too, man. You had some quick feet. Jaylen.
Had to.
It was like
I would have been.
Hey, Jaylen, it was like fight or flight, right? You had no choice.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about you get one. I had one step in my drop back. I had to spin out. Just make something happen. I would have been laying down the field.
Man, but that was some great Houdini work, man. I was wanting to give you credit on that because, like I say, that was a great performance, and really, it was kind of like another ribbon on your career. We always got to give you credit from here on until eternity for being the guy who had the Dougie? What does he have? The greatest homecoming win.
Yeah, the greatest win.
I mean, that goes in your Wikipedia.
Man. Yeah,
that goes on your Wikipedia. The greatest G-Ho win in school history. You were the architect of that. You helped bring that. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Right. So what's going on now, man? Are you still, looking at options or whatever? Or are you?
Yeah. Well, earlier this month, I actually got an email from the DC Defenders, and they wanted me and a couple other guys from A&T to come out for like a private workout in Atlanta, but it got canceled. So like professional football wise, I know it was me, Zach, and I can't remember because we went down to the XFL showcase. It was at Clark, and the DC Defenders had got in contact with us, said some of their coaches were impressed and they wanted to have another private workout with us. But they said for whatever reason, the private workout got canceled. So that's the last thing professional football wise.
But you know what? So, it might just be a money thing because they probably have to do things close to that season. They can't.
Yeah.
They probably have to kind of gear it right when they're ready to go because they can't be having people in limbo because they got to pay. So but that's good though. Hey, if you're on the radar, hey, so you're saying there's a chance, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I want to keep playing. I know some people might not think I can. I just want the chance. I just want a chance to prove that I can. So I'll just keep trying. I still hit the gym. I'm in the gym basically every day. I still go to the field, get my work in. Still in tune with the game.
How much you weigh now?
I've been losing weight, man. I've been on a freaking meal plan, eating chicken and rice, oatmeal in the morning, and I'm probably down like 234, around 234 right now.
So, how much was you weighing before?
I was at I was a solid 240. I was a solid 240. Okay. It's slow and steady, man. But I've been eating clean though, so I feel good.
Nah. I'm joking. Hey, Jay, listen. This is from the heart. There's not I'll be honest. There's not like a month that goes by without your name is not mentioned in my household because I got young kids, and anytime they deal with adversity, especially in the sports field, you're always the go-to metaphor. You always, and I always talk about how, and we say on the show, we kind of joke, say you were left for dead last year,
it felt like it.
Yeah, and then things came back around, and you didn't pout. You know what I'm saying? You stepped in there, and how many games y'all win in a row? 7 games in a row?
It was 7.
Starting off 0-3, people was ready to, was write the season off, and then the ball finally got back to you, and 7 games in a row, and Gray's homecoming win, school history, and you made a lot of believers. A lot of people had to eat their words, and it's like I think that was this great vindication, man. Vindication, and once again, the way you carried yourself is really what always inspired me. So as long as you keep that mentality, whatever you do in life is going to be successful. Are you still streaming? Are you still doing video games still?
Yeah, I might actually stream after this. I might go ahead and stream after this. There's a little update to Call of Duty, so me and the guys will talk about playing. I might stream, but yeah, I still stream though. I still stream.
Do you ever catch up with Tariq? You know, he threw his hat back in the ring, so he's
Yep.
he's trying to start working out again.
Yeah, I just talked to him the other day
Okay,
about what he got going on and everything. So he be streaming a lot too. So
I know that's what I thought about.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So okay, that's good, man. So like I say, we gonna definitely keep in touch. I got you on speed dial. So depending on how the games go this year, we're gonna have to get some expert analysis. First of all, before we let you go, we play UAB tomorrow. We going down there as big underdogs. I think Vegas has down like 25, 28 point underdogs. 28, which is ridiculous. Give me, like I said, when you're saying there's a chance, give me that one pathway to victory that you can see for us tomorrow. If we do everything perfect, what's the way to upset the world?
Okay, we got to start off. We can't turn the ball over.
Right.
Especially we playing FBS school year. We definitely don't want to turn the ball over. Come out with energy. That's another thing. Definitely can't. It's the start of the season. I know the guys are gonna do this, but we got to come out with energy. You know what I'm saying? And then we got to make plays offensively and defensively. And special teams got to be on point, of course, and stop the run. So, do that and protect the football. Yeah, control the possession. It's always gonna be a chance if you do those things.
So what's your word? What's your advice to the young quarterbacks? Because neither one of these guys have a whole bunch of experience, and I know whoever gets in the game, they're gonna be wanting to just hit a home run first play. What's the way to manage those nerves, and what advice can you give them when they get on the field tomorrow night?
Man, got me reminiscing and thinking, but start of the season, it's gonna be whoever's starting is gonna be their first start. So that night I find a way to play them. Well, it's a night game, so during the day I just find a way to compress, and I wouldn't even think about it too much. You just going out there to do what you've been doing your whole life, trusting your practice, trusting everything you worked on in the off season, and don't overthink it, and go out there when it's time, just execute. Don't overthink anything. You know what I'm saying? Just trust your instincts pretty much, and just let the game come to you. Don't try to force it.
Got you.
Because those guys can make plays.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that's both of those guys have a big body of evidence. It's not like they were this they won some game show and they got thrust out here as some random fan. These guys were stars at every level of football up till now, and they did something in fall camp to earn the coach's trust to even be in this position. So like you say, just keep doing what you've been doing and everything's right. And then like I say, we got that running game we can lean on. So that's the quarterback's best friend, right?
Yes, definitely. I forgot to mention that we want to stay out of third and longs. But don't want to be in no third and longs. Just keep that to a minimum. Penalties, cut those out.
One thing I noticed about you towards the end of the season, the middle part of the season, when we started rolling off wins, is that you were not adverse to getting 4 or 5 yards with your feet. Like if it was 3rd and 4, you ain't the fastest dude out here. I think maybe out of 4 people out on this panel right now, you might be the 3rd fastest. Maybe I think Craig might get you if y'all. I'm joking. No, but listen, Jaylen, you had a lot of long runs and you had a lot of first down runs. So I think if they see that opening, go ahead and get them 4 or 5 quick yards and get a new first down.
Want to move the sticks. Keep possession, move the sticks, and eventually, especially in the A&T offense, if you just keep possession, that running game is gonna bust through. And they got a talented running back room still. So I think as long as we keep possession of the ball, not turn it over. If it's not clean on 3rd and 5, you know what I'm saying? It's a gap. Those guys have the athletic ability. Let's go pick up 10, keep it rolling, hand it off, 30-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
I say it like it's that simple, but
You know what though, Dougie. But if we win tomorrow night, I guarantee you're gonna look at the box score. You're gonna look at the play-by-play. You're gonna see a 9, 10, 11 play scoring drives somewhere. That's gonna be some long drives where we convert more than 1 or 2 first downs. And I think you remember Jalen when you had that back. But listen, Jalen, when you had that back injury, and we put to Duke, and Kingsley and Fetty came in to sub for you, and those first 2 drives, probably like 20 plays each, and we were just dinking and dunking the whole way.
It was literally that's some of the best execution I've seen. Like being at an A&T game, my whole time at A&T, that execution for at least the first half. Yeah. I mean, it was exactly what we wanted. We kept the ball away from them. We extended drives. We was converting third downs. I mean, that's what we want to do.
So that's the blueprint. We can emulate that. We got a shot, man. We got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So and then Jalen, I think, my bad for cutting you off, but I think wanting to beat a FBS school or a bigger school, whatever, who cares? Yeah. But I think I go back to the ECU game and just guys making plays. I mean, defensively, you had Mac on the super long return.
Yes.
Defense just played good all the time, and then it was a lot. All the offensive players were just playing well and just making plays. Zach had like 2 fades, 1-hand catch, stuff like that. So we're gonna need some of that too.
Hey, if people forget, Jalen, Raynard started that game, but Khalil Carter had to come off the bench in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah,
and he brought it home.
Yeah, Khalil could do that. Khalil was great. He's a great starter, but this man was crazy as a closer. Khalil would come in and get the job done.
That's that. We got to talk to him too, because Doug, that's a different mentality when you on the sideline, and that's the starters is he has the ropes, but at any moment they might call your number. Either you got to be locked in, you got to be getting mental reps, like Jalen was saying. We got to investigate that whole mindset, because you got to be mentally tough to do that.
You got to ask him, because it seemed like Khalil to come off. He'll come off the bench just ready, hot already. He's already
microwave. Yeah.
Even before I got there, I heard about some of the stuff he did. So you know what I'm saying. True freshman coming in.
Yeah.
Just
Khalil Carter was forged in the fires of the Egg Eagle Classic. His freshman year, when he came up just a little bit short. I'll never forget his face in the locker room. And I knew at that moment the kid was going to be special, because of the disgust in his face from losing to those buzzards from down the street. Man, it ate at him so bad. But that kid was special, but they had a great freshman year. Like you said, that South Carolina State game, he came in and won, and all the plays he made that year. But Central, he almost got Central that year. That's what I remember him for.
Good deal. All right, so Jaylen, how can we stay up on what you got going on, man? What's the Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of Twitch? What you got going on, man?
Everything is Ski Walker. It's like Skywalker, except it's ski, SKI, walk, and there's 4 A's at the end. I know it's a lot, but I mean,
Okay, so let me, as your unofficial manager, right, and PR guy, that's probably the worst way to get your brand out there if people can't even find it.
I know. I've heard it plenty of times.
Yeah.
I wanted to change it to Jalen Fowler 1. I was it's kind of boring, so I just kept it. Some people call me Ski. I can't say a lot of people do, but probably 3 people in this world call me Ski. So, so I just kept it Ski Walker.
Well, Craig Turner was calling you QB1 Kenobi. Did that stick?
What? I haven't heard that. I like that. Oh no, I like that.
You like that?
I never heard that one.
QB1. Craig is like
QB1 Kenobi.
Craig's a Photoshop guy. He had like a Photoshop of you
with the Jedi robes.
The Jedi robe. QB1 Kenobi.
I saw that. I saw the Photoshop, but I didn't see the QB1 Kenobi. That's nice.
There you go. Hey, listen. You have the official.
There you go. The screen name.
I'm gonna have to go copyright that.
Do it.
One of these other quarterbacks might try to steal it, so I'm gonna have to do it.
We want Kenobi, man. We done something tonight, man. All right, so look, just stay by the phone, because anytime there's a big game or something like that, I'm gonna call you up, bro, and I'm expecting you to answer. Don't get missing on me.
Trust me, y'all got me. I'm so glad that y'all invited me tonight, because I feel like I've been like kind of detached from the program.
Oh no,
it's not even like that. It's just I haven't really. I ain't been to Greensboro. I miss it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I haven't really talked to especially fall camp. I just let the guys do them, lock in. I ain't want to. They got meetings and stuff. I ain't want to bother them. So, I mean, it feels good to be back around my Aggies, and I'm excited to watch the game tomorrow night.
Hey, listen, the term that we would say is you are a favorite son, right? Like that's how much this honor and respect we have for you. Anytime that our platform can assist you with, I know you're gonna blow up somehow. And so, anything you got going on in the future, let us know. We'll help promote it. We'll,
Sure.
Me casa su casa for real. But yeah, man.
For
So,
sure, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so tell the family we say hello. And until
Gotcha.
next time, this is the architect of the greatest homecoming win in school history, the Lazarus man. He was left for dead, and he rose. He rose from the grave. My man, QB1 Kenobi, Jaylen Fowler, man. Thank you so much, man.
All right, thank you. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all.
All right, man.
Jake.
Appreciate
All
it.
right, take care of yourself.
That's a class act, guys.
Yeah, he is.
That's a
Great
class
young
act,
man.
Hey, I just smile when, like I said, that warms me up to talk to my guy, man. Because, like I say, he just so mentally tough. And honestly, this is like he's always in my household. I use him as a life lessons. I tell my guys, I got some plays football, some plays baseball. Anytime they deal with something, struggling or whatever, I say, look here, look at this guy right here. He's the blueprint of how you overcome, how you persevere, and how you keep a smile. You don't surrender your core values because of anything external. Like Jalen Fowler, one thing about him, he's always that dude. He's always a gentleman. He's always nice, patient, and he's always going to warm up the room. Anytime he's in the mix, it's going to be better. So, and that's what you need from your quarterback, because you need somebody steady like a Jalen Fowler. When inevitably you're going to have adversity, times are going to get rough sometime this season. You want your guy behind center to be a rock. And I hope Brick Handler, White, Yeager, or Hooker, they understand that and can exhibit some of those qualities, because that's how you can win championships. Just like that, man. Yeah, that was Jaylen Fowler. He was nice enough to join us, first guest. Oh, are you ready for football now, Craig? Are you ready for football now?
I've been ready. I was ready in June. For the season to start. Yeah, it can't get here fast enough.
Well, obviously that's true, because we looked online this week, and on BlueDeathValley.com, the second installment of your preseason preview came out. And last time you focused on the offense. Now, like say, defense wins championship. So you gave a look at that 2023 version of the Blue Death, right? So
yeah,
Craig, give us a few nuggets, man. What's when fans go to the website and look at your preview article, what are they going to find out about Blue Death?
Secondary is set. It is good. It is as good as it's ever been. We've got a lot of experience in the secondary. The corners are excellent. Safeties are tremendous. The secondary is going to be fine. Linebackers, I know everybody was talking about the loss of Roberts and King, but I think the two kids they're going to be stepping in there. Another Jacob, Malik Jacobs, and Barry Turner Jr., who's a transfer from Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be fine. That was a concern about the middle of those middle linebackers, but those two guys right there, I don't. You're not going to miss. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine in the middle linebacker. Aaron Cole goes to that rover spot. I love that guy. I love that kid when he was at Chambers. When I first saw his film, I loved him then. I love him now. He is a ferocious, tenacious dog. He's a true dog, and Rover, you need to have that.
That Rover is the headless horseman spot, right? That's the Jeremy Taylor headless horseman spot, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. That guy is the guy that can make can really create havoc on the defensive side of the ball. You can play him inside. You can go outside. He can cover. It just makes plays. Your best playmaker usually is going to be that rover. Usually your best playmaker on defense is going to be that rover, and your best athlete. And he's got all the tools. He's got it all. He came in as a freshman, and they put him in the fire early. I think Coach Washington put him in there early on as a freshman, and then last year he was great. I think he had like 30 tackles, 21 unassisted, and I think he's as good as Jeremy Taylor right now. I think right now he is as good as Jeremy Taylor was his senior year. That from what I've seen, from what I've seen of him, I'm just stating my opinion. But I think right now he's as good as Jeremy Taylor was as a senior. But the linebackers I think are going to be fine. I think your linebackers are going to be good. I'm a little bit iffy on some of the backups because some of those guys are going to be young guys who were red shirts, and a couple of freshmen will come in there and play in behind those guys. I'm interested to see what the Malador kid from Georgia.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot about him. I watched his film. He's really, really active. He plays from sideline to sideline. He puts his nose in there. He's got a nose for the football. He's got that knack. So I'm anxious. I'm really anxious to see what he can do. Another freshman I want to see will be Terry and George, kid that we got out of I believe it was out of Florida. That the new staff recruited, and so I like those two guys from what I've seen on film. I want to see what they can do on a college level now. Defensive line.
Yeah, that's the question. Huh?
We're not huge, but really A&T over the last decade hasn't really been a huge offensive line. We've never been a real huge offensive line. We've always had guys in the 260s and the 270s and anywhere from 250 to 270. That's about as heavy as we ever got in the offensive line. We'll have one or two guys, to push 300 pounds. But generally, our defensive history has been built on speed and aggression. Yeah. And I think the switch to the 3-4 will help considerably because I think it plays to our strengths because our strengths are that we're very deep in the defensive end spots. And when you're playing multiple defensive ends like we will be playing in this 3-4, it really allows that athleticism to come through because it's that defense is based upon stopping the pass. And we're going into a passing league, okay? Make no mistake about it. The CAA has some of the best passing quarterbacks in the country. When you look at Richmond, you look at Villanova, Delaware. You look at Rhode Island, and some of the teams that we won't be playing, like a William and Mary. All these teams have guys who can throw the football, and they throw the ball a lot in this league. So it remains to be seen. I'm not so much concerned about the size as I am about the youth. I think that's the thing. We've got a lot of new faces up front, so I'm less concerned about the size portion of it as I am about the lack of a lot of experience there. So, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
I think there might be some gamemanship going on though, because when I look at the depth chart, And some of these numbers don't look too accurate because we right now, our starting defensive tackle is listed at 235, and our starting nose guard is listed at 255. So I don't think that's right. I think they just putting that out there, because you can't put an interior, setup like that. I don't think that. I think we're gonna be a lot bigger than we're advertising.
I mean, I always take that initial depth chart is what it is. I mean, it's initial depth chart. You just heard Jalen Fowler tell you they didn't know who was the starting quarterback till a day before the game last year.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I mean, and you even have to take that into account this year. I mean, we don't know how Coach Brown feels about the quarterback room or Coach Young. Even listing KJ as the backup quarterback means the other team has to prepare for him, right? So even if he's not your backup quarterback, you putting his name out there means the other team has to pull up some tape on him and see what he does best too. And if you hadn't prepared for him, you better start preparing for him. So we'll see, how accurate the depth chart is and how accurate some of the numbers are. It's all about that big muscle on the inside. So, the weight is one thing. And, I've seen some guys play undersized. Craig mentioned that our defensive line was predicated on slanting and making plays in the backfield. So it just depends on coach's scheme, right? And how he gets guys lined up. And you've heard him say it before. He was going to highlight the abilities and the attributes of our players and kind of fit a scheme to that. So, give coach a chance to get out there and do what he does best. He's a 3-4 mastermind. So it's up to him and his staff to press the right buttons and call the right plays and put the guys in the right position. So I'm excited, man. All those guys, one thing we know about our guys up front, they're going to fight like hell, right? They got some talent. They can make some plays, and you better get a block on them. You better bring your hat and your lunch pail if you plan on getting a block on those guys. And those guys battle against big Lawrence LeGrone every day and big Tyreek Stewart.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
Iron sharpen iron.
I mean, Big Tim Williams and Lawrence LeGrone, correct me if I'm wrong, they might be the only guys that I know that played in 3 different conferences while playing for one team. Show me some other guys that have played in 3 conferences as of tomorrow night and didn't hit the transfer portal, right? I think that's got to go on his resume at some point. There might be a few other guys, but I know those 2 guys individually. That's a good fact right there. All right. Yeah. I don't know where that came from, but that's what it is.
Hey, so Craig, during the press conference on Monday, one of the questions they asked Coach Brown about his philosophy going to the season in general. Mm-hmm. He said basically one of the things he wanted to make sure is that the team didn't get beat over the top, right? Do you think he might have been tipping his hand or telling a little bit about the way he plans on playing that secondary? Do you think we're going to be more of like a cover 3 where we're going to be backing off, or this means we're not going to be pressing so much? Because I just want to. Is there anything you could gain from what he said there?
Yeah, it means stay on assignment. Okay, and you're in the secondary, you stay on assignment. Don't get caught looking in the backfield and trying to come up and make plays. If you watched the Jackson State South Carolina State game last weekend, Jackson State busted them twice. Why? Because the strong safety got caught looking inside instead of staying with his assignment, and the guy looped in behind him twice. Yeah. Once he missed a tackle, the other one he was just flat out beat because he was out of position. Yeah. That's what happens when you allow yourself to get off assignment and stay with your man. You got to stay with your man, and because they're going to use a lot of play action. If Dilfer is the Dilfer that I think he is, they're going to use a lot of play action. They're going to try to goad us into trying to. They're expecting us to put 8, 9, 10 guys in the box to stop the run, and they're going to try to go over the top. So the biggest thing in this game is going to be we have got to weather that first quarter. If we can weather that first quarter, those first 2 to 3 possessions, and get on and get off the field without getting hurt, it changes the complexion of the rest of the football game. Because if you're going to lose it, you're going to lose it early. And usually with the FCS teams, when you're moving up a division, Turnovers. Well, that's when they happen.
Yeah.
That's usually when they happen. Usually in that, if you go back to the North Dakota State game, what killed us early? Turnovers. We turned it over, 3 times?
Yeah.
And they capitalized on them, and all of a sudden, they're out there, 23-3. So you got to, if we just have to play within ourselves, concentrate on what we're doing, and not worry about the crowd or the environment or the big stadium and all that sort of thing. Just and just go out and play football the way we know that we can play it. We're talking about a new staff here. Well, when you look at Dilfer's staff at UAB, he's got coordinators who've never called a college football game before. They've never called a play, either offense or defense. His offensive coordinator and his defensive coordinator, they have never called a college football game. Yeah. One of them came straight out of high school, and it's going to be calling signals. So he don't know what he's going to get.
Yeah.
So
that'd got you a couple years ago. It might get you one tomorrow, but.
Yeah, well, A&T's been known to pull an upset, and then not too long after that, that coach is no longer there. Yeah. So you can't never say never. I know some of those guys down there have been talking a little junk on social media about we hope we want to clear the bench at the start of the second half and all this kind of crap. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let them talk. We've been there before.
Hey, and that's the truth, because Appalachian State thought that, ECU thought that, Kent State thought that,
Kent State,
UNC Charlotte. Yep. We got a whole graveyard of tombstones in the back of our Aggie Stadium of people who underestimated us. So keep on adding on to it. But that's a good point, Craig, because I saw that in the notes, but I didn't really register that that's going to be a learning curve for that UAB coaching staff. And I don't care how much talent you got to play with, getting all your parts to move the way you want them to, it doesn't happen naturally. And you can't just figure everything out in a fall camp, right? They're still going to be evaluating some things, see, does this really work on the college level? Because if Trent Dilfer came from the NFL and then just played, I think like private high school level, that's a different animal than college football. Still you got to get adjusted to it, and that's gonna be just mechanical things like this, calling timeouts or getting the plays in. That's gonna be things that they're gonna be figuring out in real time. And that's another thing that could be to our advantage. One thing about Coach Brown, this ain't his first rodeo.
No.
And I think a lot of people have been commenting about the efficiency of the way practices and fall camp in general was ran this fall, this season. I think that's a testament to all the wealth of experience that Coach Brown brought, and he knows what not to do. He knows what works, what his own personal mantra is. He knows what kind of culture he wants to build, and he sticks to it. So I think we're gonna be more accelerated in our development than people think, just because of how everything was put together. So man, 8:00 tomorrow night. Dougie, what is going to be your how's your setup going to be? Are you going to be watching from the sports bar? You can be watching from the Brown household? How you going to take it all in tomorrow?
I think I'm going to be watching from the friendly confines of 5 Lane here at Aggie Pride household. No, man, I'm going to be right here. I thought about going over to the stadium, setting up shop, man, but Billy Edgerton and the guys probably wouldn't be too happy about me tailgating in a non-sanctioned event.
Hey,
but
talk to Billy E. And see
a watch party, man. Watch party would have been dope, man. Yeah, it would have been dope right in the stadium.
Hey, we got a big old scoreboard. Ain't nobody using it. Why don't you put the game? It's on TV. Put it on the scoreboard.
Little test run. Hey, scoreboard looking good. Scoreboard is painted, ready to go. Scoreboard looking good. But we want to keep everybody off the playing surface, okay? We'll keep everybody off the playing surface. So let's just get the stadium, ready for next week. So we're gonna let it ride. But no, I'll be at the house, man. Man, I might venture out. It depends. It's still a school night, Thursday nighter, but I'm looking forward to pre-gaming and getting ready here at the house and cutting on the TV and seeing those Aggies run across the screen, man. So I'll probably be at the house. Might slide out.
Yeah. Well, I know, Craig. You guys, y'all bring the bus down there. That's already sold out. They're gonna be leaving 4:00 in the morning. They traveling down to Birmingham.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're gonna be going to enemy territory. But luckily, our next guest of the show is coming from that territory, and he might give us a little bit of insight on what to expect when we get down to Birmingham tomorrow. This guy is somebody who I really am impressed by. He has his own. He's part of a coalition of fans from the UAB fan base, and they have a site called blazervictory.com. Awesome site. They do a podcast, just kind of like what we're doing. And I think they already did theirs early on in the week with a preview about A&T. Let me bring on a guy I just met online on social media this a couple of days ago, John Duncan of blazervictory.com. Hey, John, how you doing?
Good. How are you gentlemen doing this evening?
Man, I'm living the dream, man. Yeah.
We got game day eve, yeah.
Right before Christmas. So tomorrow we might be arch enemies, but tonight we can be pleasant. We can put all our agenda to the side and just talk like friends and guys who are just happy about football season. But you, like I said in the intro, you are part of a great fan site called Blazing Victory, and you guys started in 2020, right when the pandemic started.
Yeah, so we're trying to get like y'all. You guys started that in 2004. So we're trying to get like y'all.
Man, y'all can do it, man. You just gotta stick to it, man. You gotta have some diehard. If you know what, you gotta have a bunch of crazy folks. That's what you gotta have.
Pretty much.
So you guys have a website, and you guys also have a podcast. How long have you been on the podcast? Has it been at the same time?
Since 2020, yeah. Everything since 2020, yeah.
And is it a 3-man crew?
It is, yeah. So it was 2, but we just added a 3rd in January. So it is a 3-man crew.
And who are the individuals besides yourself?
Yeah, so it's myself and Darian Smith, who played center at UAB back in the day, and then we also have Jimmy Marion, who's a recruiting analyst and a big-time UAB fan. So excited to have both of those guys on board.
How did you guys come? What was the thought process of actually going and doing something officially, unofficially as a fan site? Because everybody has these. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. But to actually do it, you find out how hard it is and how time consuming, right?
Yes, and we are still finding out. Yeah, but UAB, there's no 24/7, there's no rivals, there's no on-3. Like we're pretty much it in regards to fan coverage. And the local media. We have an AL.com beat writer and another guy who covers, but really it's just us 3. Covering the team, and we all grew up fans of UAB, and kind of learning myself how to balance the media and still being a fan aspect of this whole operation. But it's been a wild ride, but an enjoyable ride so far.
Right. And so Craig Turner, he's kind of like the historian, the beat writer. He knows everything about A&T. He was actually the first season ticket holder at our football stadium way back in the 80s. And then Doug Brown, he's a former great wide receiver for us. He has the skins on the wall to prove it. So we kind of lean on him for that inside information. So we kind of have a similar model of having some experts here and there. So tell me, man, you guys did a preview already on your website of this matchup. For people who have from our side who have had a chance to see that. What was your overall takeaway from this game?
Yeah, just looking at this matchup, I mean, there are so many question marks on both teams. Whether that's A&T, UAB. We kind of talked about in the presser with Trent Dilfer last week. I asked him. I said, it's kind of ironic how similar both of these programs are. A&T having the established history, 8 national championships, and just coming into a new coaching regime with Vincent Brown, who he's a first-time head coach at the collegiate level, and UAB's got Trent Dilfer. He's a first-time head coach at the collegiate level. So, really, both of these programs are really pride themselves in the history that they have. But hey, it's time to see what both programs are made of. A&T going to the CAA, Colonial Athletic Association, and UAB moving up from Conference USA to the American Athletic Conference. So both programs kind of similar right now. But when you think of A&T, you really think of that dominant defensive line in past years from the Aggies program. And when you just look on paper, and it looks like they don't have that on paper. They very well may have it, but on paper they really don't have that. They've lost 3 of their top tacklers from last year. I know 2 to the portal and 1 to graduation. Now that secondary of the Aggies, you guys are very loaded at secondary. So I'm just very curious to see, the game plan for Trent Dilfer and company against A&T. I mean, if I was Trent Dilfer, I would just try to ground and pound and see if the Aggies can stop that.
Hold up. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, if not, it could be a long day for the Aggies. But I mean, there is so much respect from the UAB side to the A&T side. We know the tradition. I had BJ Jones come on our Patreon show. He covers HBCU for HBCU game day.
Right.
And I was just curious, why the CAA? And I mean, I know the Aggies were in the Big South for 2 years, and just what was involved in moving from the MEAC to the Big South, and now the CAA, which is a really good, if not one of the best, conferences in the FCS. So just a lot of crazy things for both of these programs, but definitely can't wait to kick it off tomorrow night. We can talk about it all we want, but we got to be about it and see what happens on the field.
Well, John, you brought up one thing. I got to ask you a question, man, because there are a lot of similarities in the program, but there are a few differences. And one thing that I notice is different is something that you've experienced that none of us could even imagine experience as a lifelong Aggie fans. You've actually had to endure your program in existence for some years. Tell me, what was that like to know that your program was, I guess at the time, going away and maybe not coming back? And what was that process like fighting? Because I know you had to be a part of that fight to get the team back in, and the progress that y'all made since then, like you said, jumping to a new conference just in that short period of time.
It's crazy, and a lot of that credit goes to Bill Clark, who came to UAB in 2014 and gets the program bowl eligible for the first time in a long time, nearly a decade, and you shut the program down right after that happened. So a lot of scratching heads. I don't want to get into the what people said, with the University of Alabama trustees shutting it down. I'll let Aggies fans, if they want to.
Okay. Yeah. Because I have no clue, right? So I don't care. So stuff I read on the internet at the time, there's just gossip, but it was that a lot of UAB alumni were blaming the legislator in Alabama who were partial to Auburn and the University of Alabama. They felt like you guys were stealing too much talent from those bell cow programs, and so they were like, "We got you out the way, then we more for for the big guys." Was that the kind of like the word on the street from your end?
And isn't that crazy just saying that? With Alabama and the tradition that they've had, going back for hundreds of years, like it's crazy even hearing it to this day. But yeah, for those that don't know, UAB shares a board of trustees with the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa and with the University of Alabama in Huntsville, UAH. So they all share the same board. And there was some, nitpicking and saying, you won't let us put money in our football program, but I mean, Alabama's living good. So, you've got this great research and hospital, the number one employer in the state of Alabama, and you can't use any of that funds to fund athletics. So there was a lot of things that went into that. But Doug, to answer your question, I mean, it was terrible. I don't want anybody to go through that again. Now we have come out on the other side, like you just mentioned. We're transitioning to the AAC, which is a lot better conference than the Conference USA. The payout per school is a lot more than the payout was in Conference USA. So it's fun, or not. It's never fun talking about it, but it's easier talking about it now that UAB's coming out of the other side. But yeah, those were some dark periods. They shut the program down from 2015, and then it came back until 2017. So you talk about what 2 full years not having any football in the state of Alabama.
Man.
Like
Man.
it was crazy.
Hey,
Mm.
we went 2 years and won about the same amount of games in a little
Yeah,
stint.
but we had a program.
we
Hey,
know what
so-
it's like not to want to talk about history and points in time, so it's cool, man. We can laugh about it now.
So,
Right.
so honestly though, John, so when that was going on, did you like change yourself to like the state legislature building? Like, what did y'all do as alumni? What options did you have to protest that? Like, what was it like out there?
Yeah, a lot of people did, and there was plenty of marches. There were just sit-ins on those meetings. People turned their backs on speakers when they were speaking. When they, it was crazy. I'm surprised that it's not a movie already, but it's going to be a movie one day. Like, just to see the resurrection of the football program and to get where UAB is now. Not only are they, moving up in conference affiliation, but they've got this beautiful stadium, protective stadium. And all kidding aside, Legion Field, I mean, I'm not sure if y'all been to Legion Field. It's just old, falling apart, like very historic. And there's been plenty of historical games played there. Alabama Auburn, SWAC championships, UAB, competing for championships. But it was time. And, you've got this beautiful practice facility now. So it's definitely easier to look back on now.
And that was all generated by fundraising.
Fundraising, yes.
Oh, good deal. So I guess y'all have a good athletic department now, where y'all able to go out there and make some corporate partnerships and bring in some resources. Huh?
Yes, and I think that is, getting these facilities updated was a big part in getting UAB out of Conference USA and into the AAC.
Okay, let's talk a little bit football. Craig, you're our guy. Tell me, what is somebody we got to look out for on UAB's roster that we got to figure out by tomorrow? Who's some of the key guys that we should be worried about?
I mean, you need to ask your guests that, because I haven't really studied UAB a whole lot. I've been busy with so many other things, worrying about us.
Let's start with the guy on the all-name team.
Yeah, they got a running back down there that's supposed to be the truth.
That's what I was worried about. John, please help us out. Tell us about this running back you got, because I hear he's Mr. Everything.
He is good. Jermaine Brown, his nickname's Skull, and he was the second guy last year. Dwayne McBride, who was with the Vikings, I believe he just got cut though, but drafted in the 7th round. I mean, that Skull is a very elusive back, very fast but very shifty. Expect him to catch a lot of passes too, if he plays Thursday night. So really, UAB is loaded at running back this year, even losing Dwayne McBride. But yeah, Jermaine Skull Brown is the guy to watch. But behind him, number 20, Isaiah Jacobs. And that name is, probably familiar with some of your listeners. He's the younger brother of the former Alabama running back who's in the pros now. But he just came in the fall and he's already named a team captain, of the team. Okay. So you talk about leadership and you talk about a guy that's already stood out and just being here for a month or so. Watch out for that running back duo, Jermaine Brown Jr. and Isaiah Jacobs.
And behind center, who's going to be taking snaps?
It's going to be Jacob Zeno. So he was a transfer in last year. He came from Baylor. He played a little bit last year, struggled a little bit. He was kind of thrown into the fire. But this year, really like what I've seen out of fall camp and then spring. You've got a new offense under Alex Mortensen, son of Chris Mortensen.
Really?
He's expect them to spread it around a lot more this year. The UAB days of old are kind of similar to A&T, where it was really ground and pound was the main focus. This year and going forward, they're still going to have that with those more running backs I just mentioned, but expect Jacob Zeno to sling it around a good bit. And as I mentioned earlier, A&T has a very talented secondary, so that is a matchup that I can't wait to watch. Yeah.
So on the defensive side of the ball, you got a guy that's on the all-name team, Big Fish McWilliams. Tell us about Fish McWilliams.
Can we just talk about the name, Fish McWilliams? I mean,
That's
what a
dope.
perfect
That's
name.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's just a stud on the inside. I mean, he expect to see him in the backfield a lot come Thursday night. Just a really, really great guy, but a really phenomenal player who, as you mentioned, he's on a lot of preseason watch list and very well deserving. So I expect him to have a breakout year for his senior season.
And that was another guy. I watched one of your bowl game against Miami, and that was this kid on the edge who was just showing out. Number 9, is that Michael Fairbanks? Is he still on the roster?
Yeah, Fairbanks is. So UAB, really the defensive line and edge rushers, I don't see any question marks. But what Aggie fans are going to want to look at is that inside linebacker position. You know, UAB loses a couple guys from last year. You know, Noah Wilder or Tyler Taylor. There's a guy, Jackson Bratton, who was a transfer in from Alabama last year. You know, he's going to start at the Mike linebacker tomorrow night, but kind of watch for the inside linebacker position, and just maybe that's something that A&T can take advantage of with the lack of experience or starting experience. So that is something that we'll need to monitor going forward tomorrow.
Yeah. And like we said earlier in the show, Craig, he's the president of the Greensboro chapter of our alumni association, the AAF, Aggie Athletic Foundation. And they're bringing a bus of fans down to Birmingham for the game. Can you give us anything about the stadium that they need to know about as far as like this getting around, any other game day attractions they need to be aware of?
Yes, you're gonna love the atmosphere with Protective Stadium. There's like an uptown district, which is where the stadium is, and you've got several restaurants and bars.
Wow. Okay.
So get there early, and I think I caught the end of that before I came on. Correct? Did y'all say y'all are leaving at 4 a.m. to to come over here? Did I catch that right? Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all.
Yeah. Well, we're picking up some fans in Charlotte on the way, so that's one reason why we're leaving so early.
Gotcha. Well, you won't be, out of stuff to do before the game. So, I don't know if y'all drink, but get you a couple beers before and, settle in and looking for a good time Thursday night. Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. First of all, it's football season, so win, lose, or draw, we gonna enjoy it, man. And honestly, to be honest with you, John, we're playing with the house's money. No one is expecting us to be David versus Goliath. We've done it in the past, so a lot of A&T fans are optimistic. But really, I think truthfully, we're just wanting to see what this new regime looks like. What the product's going to be, and you got a new coaching staff, 2 new coordinators, just kind of like the same boat you're in, and then a whole bunch of new pieces. So that's the cool thing about it. Just find out what you give us a little bit of idea of what 2023 in the whole, has in store. And so what's your next game after A&T? What you guys got after this game?
Yeah, so UAB will go to Statesboro, Georgia, to take on Georgia Southern. So
that's a tough matchup, right?
Yes, it is. And UAB has struggled in the second week of the season, so it's.
And by the way, so what was your take on Trent Different when he got named the coach? Because did that come out of left field, or did you guys have an idea that was where you were going?
It came out of left field. I mean, we had heard, the rumblings were, we knew he interviewed for it. But yeah, when they announced it, we were, it came out of left field. And now, getting to know Trent a little bit, just, in the spring and really in fall camp a little bit, I'm pulling for him. He's a really good guy. But as you guys know, it comes down to wins or losses on the field. So UAB fans are in the same boat right now. We just want to see what we're going to look like going forward. So, new regime for us, new offensive style. So Blazer fans are excited as well to see what happens. And I know A&T, don't y'all have NC Central the next week?
Next week.
Okay.
That is the arch rival. So you're talking about it's kind of hard to, not kind of look at the count and say, oh man, I need to start making plans for that one. But you still got to focus on, the main thing. But man, and I think there's so many parallels because both of our programs weren't at like rock bottom, ground zero when the new coaches came in. Like you guys won a bowl game last year.
Right.
You guys beat Miami, and your final record was 7-6, I think.
Yes, that's correct.
So 7-6, and then we were one game away from going to the FCS playoffs. We lost in the Big South championship game. So both programs had a lot of success in recent years, and then just end up having a regime change at the coach position. But yeah, man, it's gonna be fun to watch. So give me ideas. BlazingVictory.com. I see you also on Twitter. What's the best way for people to find out about your site? And you also do a Patreon thing, so they want to subscribe, they can do that too.
Yeah. So number one, everything is on the site. So blazervictory.com. We host our podcast, articles, Patreon too. If somebody wants to sign up for the Patreon and do a little deep dive on some interviews that I had with Trent Dilfer or some of the players during fall camp. And also, as I mentioned earlier, we had BJ Jones from from HBCU Game Day. So great inside source there. But yeah, blazervictory.com, or follow us on Twitter at blazerpod and check us out. Now, I will say that the final score predictions that we predicted, don't get upset. Don't get upset about that.
Okay, I heard about that. No, I'm glad I was about to let you go. I'm glad you mentioned it. Y'all heard you were talking noise in the streets though. Before see, you're cool now. Now say what you said before. Say it with your chest. Because I heard you were saying that we was gonna get blown out by the second quarter. Y'all was gonna empty the bench. What was all that mess? Go ahead.
First of all, I said by the third quarter. So no, we said 41-10. But I'll tell you, that first quarter, if A&T can hang in there,
right,
then it's gonna be a ball game. You mentioned earlier, A&T's taking down FBS. I mean, they beat East Carolina a couple years ago, so A&T has that experience, taking down the Goliath, and UAB has recently. We've been fine against FCS teams, but you go back to 2019, barely beat a SWAC team, Alabama State, at Legion Field. So there have been times like if UAB kind of tiptoes around and A&T is able to get something going early in that first quarter, and hey, we can have a ball game. So
all the pressure is on the home side over there on that side of the stadium. So we'll see.
Yeah,
no, you're right. Good stuff.
I'm excited to hear the A&T band too. I heard the band was coming, so I'm excited about hearing them.
The band coming? The band's coming, Doug?
Yeah, the band's making the trip. Yeah.
Good.
The band's making a trip.
Huh?
That's Doug, can you verify that? That's official?
We'll see tomorrow, right? We'll see tomorrow.
Hey, John. If I ever see you in Birmingham and buy you a drink, I'll tell you some funny stories about our band. But I don't want. I got death threats already on my head, so I gotta walk. I gotta walk a thin line on that. But it's fun. Our band has their own travel schedule. It doesn't really. It's not really governed by the university. They kind of do their own thing. But like I say, if they're gonna be down there in Birmingham, that's even better, man. That's gonna be even a great atmosphere. Craig, you got anything else you want to ask the gentleman before you let him go?
No, we'll see you tomorrow night. We'll put the ball down. We'll play.
Hey, and safe travels coming down. Yeah,
that's it. All right, John. So look, we're gonna definitely check out your site, and afterwards, man, do you guys do like a little post game deal? Do y'all do like a little post game show?
Yeah, we will try to do an instant reaction late Thursday night. We're able to get back to the house. Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah.
But I encourage your listeners, give our preview a listen. And I know I just said it was 41-10, but there is a lot of respect for the Aggies in that. Like I mentioned, the secondary. You kind of threw me off because we talked about Jaeger a good bit, and now I'm hearing Brickhalter might be the guy. So
Brick
Handler, yeah. So, but I know
Brick House is the name. Brick House.
We'll hope he throws a lot of bricks come tomorrow night.
So. We'll see. Hey man, but listen, man, you've been so gracious with your time. Thank you so much for coming on. I think I reached out to you yesterday or something. You jumped on it. I appreciate anybody who takes our little crazy site seriously. So, but you know how hard it is. People think that just get on here and you start this freestyling. It takes a lot of preparation, a lot of work. a lot of you gotta get a lot of approval from your wife too, right? You gotta.
She's upstairs with the kids right now. So
right
yes.
now, I understand. Yeah, I understand. Right, man. There's a lot of stuff goes on to make this happen. So, hey, best of luck to you guys. Hope everybody is, good game. Everybody's healthy. Everybody makes it out one piece. May the best team win. And man, let's good luck for the rest of the season after this too.
Definitely appreciate it, fellas. Y'all take care and safe travels and go beat Central the next week.
Yeah. So that's John Duncan from BlazerVictory.com. You gotta check out his site; it's pretty good. All right, John. You take care, man.
All right, you too.
All right. That's a cool guy, man. I like that dude. I like him. I like him a lot more if he wasn't, from the enemy. We gotta play tomorrow, but I think after tomorrow we'll be best friends. But yeah, man, that's cool. He's I like getting other fan sites to come on and give their perspective, little inside info. So we're about to get off here very quick. We got a few guests. If you want, I see people down there in the green room. If you want to get on the show, turn your camera on, and we'll pull you up. I think Reggie, Sousa Man, 1977, John Marks, DL, a bunch of folks out there. So let me know if you're alive. Turn your camera on, and I'll pull you in the show. Anything else, Dougie, before we get off this thing, man? Yeah, you want to do some final predictions?
Yeah.
Some final scores? Because they talk about 41.
Listen, I won't get into making predictions.
Yeah.
We won't do that. We want to do that to our guys. But I'll tell you what I want to see, what I'm looking for tomorrow. I am looking for Antoine Wilder. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that guy that's going to be the tone setter. That guy that's going to set the tone for not only for the game, but for the entire season. That game against Jacksonville State, when Antoine Wilder showed up, who, let's admit it, none of us really knew who he was up until that game.
Yeah.
When that man stepped on the field and started throwing his body around and literally became the headless horseman that night.
The headless horseman.
Knocking heads off.
Yeah.
Changed the way we played football that year. Everybody got in line, and you had to get on Antoine Wilder's page. I need a guy that's going to set the tone like that. Now, we got some strong candidates based off some of those preseason photos, right? I know you saw 45 walking around like he's ready to tear somebody's head off, right?
Fresh off the bus.
We got some guys like that might have to be fresh off the bus. But we got some guys, we're not going to give all the personnel away, Samaj, Marsh, tonight. Because obviously, those guys thought we had a different plan, a different setup. And that's why I pound the table on not showing your cards, Samaj.
Hey,
I know
you talk to Brian.
He's not part of the coaching staff.
You talk to Brian Holloway. They put in the game notes. I just read off the damn game notes. Okay, I ain't tell nothing that they ain't tell me.
We'll go with what's in the game notes then, all right? Because that looks like it's part of the plan. But no, I'm looking for some guys that's going to step up.
Too late to do anything about it now, anyway.
Too late, Craig. We got a lot of young guys. So
yeah.
You're always looking for that guy, that is that alpha male up there that's going to set the tone and say, guys, we're going this way. Follow behind me. And it doesn't matter what position you play. I mean, even though some guys that didn't even set foot on the field, but they were those kind of leaders in the locker room, all right? But tomorrow night, we're going to need some guys to lead by example, right? I need an active demonstration on the field. Total annihilation, all right? So
I like that.
I'm excited, man. I know we got some guys that can step up. Craig talked about Avarion Cole. He'll put his hat on you.
Yes.
We got a lot of guys.
That's my man right there.
Like Coach said, man, let's go out and lay it on the line. Let's truly represent Aggie football. Let's be disciplined, right? We know that's a common theme. Let's just go out there and play Coach Brown, Vincent Brown's brand of football that he and support his vision that he's got in place. So let's go Aggies.
All right, we got to bring it real quick before we give you the last word, Craig. We got Max here. Max, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening?
What your thoughts about everything, man?
Look, I'm excited about the game. I'm excited about the prospect of going down there. I was inspired by the short video at the A&T 4 statue. It looked like Coach Brown is slowly getting that Aggie feeling to him. Just excited, ready to go, man.
Man. So I think people in the chat saying that the band might not be coming. Have you heard anything, Maxwell, about the band? Do you know?
I have not heard anything about that.
Okay. Who else is there? Oh, Bobo. I don't even know Bobo. Is Bobo, you here?
Bobo
back.
What's up?
Bobo. What's up, my man?
Hey, it's a football season now.
Hey.
2023. How you doing, man?
Where y'all been?
Man, we're doing the podcast. My man Bobo. Hey, give me a prediction, Bobo. How we gonna do tomorrow? You feel good?
Say that one more time.
What's your prediction? How you think we're gonna do tomorrow? Do you feel good?
Well, I've had some challenges, but I'm hanging in there.
No, I'm talking. Do you feel good about the football team's outlook? Do you feel good about our chances in Birmingham?
I don't know, man. Since they kicked us out, me and Dr. Simmons out last year, I hadn't been back. Practice.
Oh, you got kicked out of practice. Oh man.
Yeah, they kicked us out. So
did you tell them that you were Bo? Did you tell them that you were the legendary Bobo from inside the valley? If you would have said that, they might have, gave you a pass. You got name drop a little bit sometimes.
I'm trying to eat.
Okay, I didn't disturb you, Bobo. That's all right.
I've been trying to get on for an hour and a half.
Okay. All right. So, any last comments, Bobo? You want to say anything about the game? Because I know you're busy eating your dinner.
I hope we got this discipline down.
Yeah. That's the key. Okay. So Bobo, are you gonna be down there in Birmingham, or you just gonna watch it on TV?
I'm gonna just watch it on TV, man.
Okay, I got you. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining the show again, man. And hopefully the team will be disciplined and represent well and make us all proud, man.
All right. Hope so.
All right, Bobo.
All right, y'all take care.
Okay.
All right, you too.
All right, Max. This Bobo, you interrupted his dinner. I don't know what's wrong with you, Max. Where your manners at?
Yeah, I know. Look, on the pick'em, I picked this as a 2-point favorite. And
what was your score?
33-31, I think I picked. Okay. So I think it's gonna come down to our new kicker.
Ooh, I hope he's ready. You know what? That would be poetic justice, man. If we can go down to Birmingham and have it all ride on the foot of a new guy. I think he's a freshman too, right? Or is he a transfer?
He's a transfer.
He's a transfer.
Yeah.
ECU.
All right, man. How about
we'll
that?
See.
Yeah, we upset ECU. That was our last big FBS win, and then we get a transfer from ECU to get another FBS win. What about that? That could be a nice little storyline.
I like it.
But
oh yeah, I like it.
All right, so Craig, we gotta go, man. It's 1:30. It's hour and 30 minutes.
Ho! Before you get Craig, we can't go just yet, man. Listen.
Yeah.
We gotta get some shots out. First, I want to give a shout out to my man Quante Spate, who joined the athletic department, man. Shout out to Quante Spate before we.
Is he official?
Hey, well, listen.
Yeah.
From what I was told and what I saw, he's official. So I'm going with it until I'm told otherwise.
Well, I saw his social media thing said interim associate athletic director, and that was just kind of his own homemade.
Just like Aggie Spirit, that's good enough for me. All right.
I got you. Yeah.
Secondly, we can't get off the show without giving a shout out to Big Ricky Lee, making the 52-man roster.
Yeah, really.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Really.
Keep turning them out, man. He keeps turning them out on that offensive line, man.
Hey, and you know what? To go as a undrafted free agent, and I told you how much politics are involved when it comes to scouts and people already vouch for somebody, and you already paid somebody this, as a draft. But for you to leapfrog that many guys, you really had to be balling out. Like he probably had no bad days at camp at all. For him to go from an unknown to on the 53, not the practice squad, the 53, and that means that means you have credibility. So
yeah,
it's still kind of fluid these first couple of days after they announce it, because they might see somebody on another roster or another waiver wire. But for you to make a 53-man roster your first year out of college, that's telling the whole league this is you're somebody to watch, right? So he's got that stamp now. And I say they don't have a lot of spots just to give out to people. If you on that roster, they expect you to play and produce at some point. So we might see him in action week 1.
Yeah, you probably will. He's playing that swing tackle position, and they cut 2 vets ahead of him. One guy's been there for 8-year pro, and the other one 11-year pro.
Yeah.
And to push those guys out and become the swing tackle, meaning you can play left or right side, that tells you that he's got a hell of a lot of talent. A hell of a lot of talent. We knew he was a good ball player when he was here, but to do what he did as an undrafted free agent is remarkable.
Right.
And humble as they come, Craig. A humble young man too, man.
My question regarding that is, what is Coach Mattis doing, man? Coach Mattis is doing something. I know he's working, but he got that special something he doing.
So we still got Brandon Parker in Las Vegas. He's still on the roster.
He's still in the league. Yeah, he recently, I think he's floating around right now. But Brandon's doing his thing.
Okay. And then I know Mac McCain got released at the last cut, but he's one of those guys where like every week
he'll pop up.
You check the transaction wire, like every week there's like somebody signed him, somebody put on price squad, somebody, so he's always gonna be jumping around. I think he's got that stamp too, where guys know that he's an NFL caliber player. It's just he has to find the right place to stick. So we haven't seen the last of Mac McCain. DJ Daryl Johnson Jr., I think he got put on IR with the 49ers. So I think he's still kind of rehabbing something. We talked about
Tariq back in the fold. Yep.
Tariq, his agent Drew Rosenhaus, and I think he has 2 agents. One of them was Drew Rosenhaus. They're putting out fillers to NFL teams. We're looking for a workout, and if he's back, man, if he's 90% of what he was, he should be in the league. If he's 90% of what he was before he got injured, he still could be a major weapon in the league.
They said the man had, in his all-pro year, I think over 400 punt return yards. There hadn't been a guy who's had 400 punt return yards in a season since then. So that tells you the type of impact he has on a team. Right. So you want him to get him.
And he was a great locker room guy. Like he was a leader in that that Chicago locker room. So he'll I think he's gonna get one more shot. And don't count him out at all.
There's got to be at least a dozen teams out there that need a punt return.
Right. All right, so that's about it for tonight. Anybody didn't get in, we're gonna do Blue Death After Dark, win, lose, or draw. We're gonna do Blue Death After Dark, not on Thursday night because I got jobs and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna do it Sunday probably 8 p.m. Same bet time, same bet channel. So this Sunday, we'll wait a couple of days and let it breathe out. Everybody can control their emotions or their euphoria of being so happy over upset, and we're gonna come back here and just have a little stream of conscious type of flow on Sunday. And that's not going to be Inside the Valley. That's Blue Death After Dark. And we're going to talk about the game and maybe have some videos and stuff to break down. So come back here, meet us here on Sunday. We'll talk about all this. Craig, last word. Bring us home, man.
Well, everybody's talking about predictions. I'm going to have my column up here in about an hour or so.
Okay.
We'll get it up by midnight and game day. And I just think that the Vincent Brown era is I think we're going to be witnessing this season the transformation of A&T football to something I think that everybody's going to be real pleased to see. I'm glad to see that A&T fans so far have understood what the task that's in front of them this year, the transition that we're going to be going through. But something tells me that this team this year is going to be a lot better than everybody thinks they're going to be. And it all starts tomorrow night. So I'll just be looking to see us play some cohesive football. It's not so much about the winning and the losing, although I want to win tomorrow night, but as long as we'll play with enthusiasm, we fly around and we do the things and execute and let the chips fall where they may. And we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay, good deal. All right, so for Maxwell, Doug Brown, and that was Craig Turner. This is Samaj Marsh. Man, it's been a super exciting episode of Inside the Valley. Man, everybody traveling down to Birmingham. I know there's a bus leaving at 4 o'clock in the morning. Y'all be safe. Please be safe.
Yeah.
And enjoy yourselves and have a good time. Come back in one piece. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on the flip side. We'll talk about it on Sunday. All right, so it's Inside the Valley. Till then, Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.